Thank you so much for joining us. This is Breakfast Central. Good morning, Africa, once again. And now we will go straight to the front pages of the newspapers. That's our first salvo. And let's begin right away as we start from Nigeria. Oluchi has the first news.
And the first news is all about the presidential candidate who has come out to publicly announce his intention. Now you can see here why Tinubu finally told Buhari presidential ambition. This is an investigation that has been brought to the front page of the first news this morning. It's a story that has been trending since it broke out yesterday, with a lot of people coming out to express how they feel. It comes out to say action may sink Oshibaju's touted ambition. Put Buhari in tight corner. That's what the writer is saying. You can see the picture here of our president, the current president, and a presidential aspirant in the person of Bola Tinubu. Well, they appear to be practicing social distancing at least. There's more details of that story in the paper First News. Wike in Bayelsa says only PDP can save Nigeria. Really? All right. There's more details from the paper this morning. And in Ondo, headsmen attack recurs. 6 more killed. A very sad story right there in Ondo. Heavy shooting in Anambra, Enugu communities as gunmen insist on Monday sit at home. So we have come into 2022 with this sit at home order right now that is happening in places like Anambra and Enugu. For how long are we going to have this continuing or happening in the states? Well, you need to go to First News for more information.
And away from the first news, let's move on now to Uganda. We're talking about the new vision in Uganda. That big header right there says, student loan scheme list out. So the scheme is out. We're talking about the loan scheme for students is actually out. If you are a Ugandan, hurry up, go check it if your name is there. Now, beneficiaries have 2 repayment options. You can check out the full list, pages 5, 6, and 7. That's where you'd find that story. So go check it out and you would find out who have gotten that or beneficiaries of the student loan scheme. New curriculum, S1 and S2. Yesterday we told you about mathematics. Today in the newspaper of the New Vision, you have chemistry and English language revision exercises. I like this because it keeps the students ready. It's a big thing in Uganda, by the way. If you're just joining us, schools have resumed. It took 2 years before the schools have decided to resume today, especially this week. I beg your pardon. So we'll be talking more on this in the course of the Breakfast Central, and we'll tell you more about it. Also, the big pictures you can find there on today's paper. Aside from the young student who's holding a bag and books, you have another picture here that shows a father taking his daughter to school. I'm sure she's in the boarding house because you have her box. For those who were boarders, you have a box, you have a mattress.
I can
you
relate
have the
to
bucket.
This totally. I mean, you see that box, call it Tinker box. I mean, this kind of box, they're so durable, and sometimes you could eat and just use it to cover your head.
Oh my, oh my. You were one of them, by the way. Anyway, back to school at last. That's what we have. You can see the picture there. Looks very, very exciting. And public schools get 20 billion shilling for SOPs. More ADF suspects arrested. Urban TV upgrades content, 15 charge of police killings. These are just summaries of what you would find inside the newspaper of New Vision.
Now let's move on to Kenya with the Daily Nation this morning. Now you can see this report here talking about the poverty index right now happening in Kenya. More Kenyans sink into poverty. That's the report. Tough times, it says. Now this report is by the Kenyan National Bureau of Statistics, and it shows the number of Kenyans living in poverty, which has jumped by 15% between 2014 to 2018. And you can see the infographics here. You can see the percentage of men, of women, the percentage of the national average, and the percentage in the urban and rural areas. There's more details of all of this from the Daily Nation this morning. Now you can also see this picture here. Ralia accuses DP Ruto of divisive politics. That's what it says here this morning. You can see him here. The ODM leader addresses supporters. This was in the Kajiado County just yesterday. There's more details of that from the Daily Nation. Now, when it comes to health, on page 10, big boost to local cancer diagnosis. That's on page 10 from the Daily Nation.
And lastly, let's bring it to an end as we come back to Nigeria. The Punch. There's this header right here that you should check out, but it says P&ID firm paid $9,969 into director daughter's account before agreement signing, according to witness, page 9. Wow. Talk about corruption. Devalue currency further, raise interest rates, IMF tells Nigeria and others. EFCC rearrests Mofa for alleged 32.9 billion naira money laundering. And Disco's indebtedness hits 326 billion naira in 9 months, says federal government. One thing about the Punch newspaper, you have so much to take a look at. And this big one in the front page, it says, Ohaneze fumes, alleges injustice as Tinubu declares presidential bid. I have informed Buhari of my ambition. He did not ask me to stop, says APC leader. Tinubu's presidential ambition not rooted in equity, justice. It's Igbo's turn, Ohaneze says. And that picture says, pay us our MOU. Parliamentary workers picket National Assembly. Protest on paid salaries and allowances. And I'm just going to take one more just below there. Suspected cultists tie Lagos casino attendants' hands, stab victim to death. Quite a sad one for a Tuesday morning. You might want to pick up the Punch newspaper. So much to read from inside of the Punch, and make sure that you do that right away, especially for today.